All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a few moments to practice outlining our notes. When you take notes in math class, you're usually going to be taking them in this form. To start with, you're going to open to a fresh page in your spiral-bound notebook. Obviously, I'm using a piece of line paper, but you have your notebook. First thing you'll do, put your name and number up in the corner, just like always. Probably seems silly to do that in your book, but if for some reason the page ever comes out, you want to make sure that you have it there. Date is useful as well. So I'll go ahead and put the date that I'm recording this. There we go, just like a regular piece of paper. Across the top title line, you are going to put whatever the title is. Usually in math, this will be a module title followed by perhaps some information about what it's about. Might just be Module 1, Module 2, Module 3. Okay. Skip a line. On your first line right here, we are going to put the heading. We put Roman numerals here. So Roman numeral 1, it looks like an I, but it's a Roman numeral 1 to show that this is the first in the series. This Roman numeral will match up with whatever lesson we're on. So if we're on lesson 3, it'll be a Roman numeral 3. Lesson 11 will be a Roman numeral 11. Your lesson title goes here. So this again will include the lesson number and whatever it is. That should match up with your homework. It will match up with what you see in the Learn book. So please be careful, use that to help you. Okay. Now underneath, we're going to have a series of subheadings. We always start with A, capital A. Usually, but not always, usually I like to start with any important vocabulary that you need. If there are any terms that we're going to be using, anything you need to be able to talk like a mathematician, speak like a mathematician, it'll go right here. So maybe number 1, number 2. A good outline will always have at least 2 subheadings for every heading above it. I will be honest, sometimes our math notes are not perfect outlines, but if you end up writing only one thing, I don't think too many of you will be disappointed. Now after the vocabulary, if any, we're going to back up to capital B because this goes sort of the same level. Usually there will be some sort of process or procedure that I want to show you how to do. Procedure. I have to make sure I spell this correctly for you. The process and the procedure, again, will be broken up the same way. You'll have step number 1, step number 2, however many steps we need for that particular process, whatever strategy I'm trying to teach you. My goal is that this will be something you can refer back to. It will be instructions right there so that while you're working on homework, while you're reviewing for tests, you can just go back through that. And then if we have time, if we have space, and we usually do, we'll do some examples together. Okay. Now, if you're watching this on a video at home, I might do 1 or 2 and then leave some blank for you to fill in. I'll give you the problem and then ask you to solve it. If we're doing it in class, I will always solve them with you. Even the homework ones, if I don't solve them on the video, I'll make sure that they get solved when you get to class. So, this is the general process for taking outline notes. I know this looks very, very short, but obviously real notes are going to be a bit longer. Really, the easiest thing to do, just copy down exactly what I've got on the paper. If I'm in class, I know sometimes it's tricky to keep up. You may need to borrow from a friend or borrow from me later to fill in anything you miss. If it's in a video, it's nice and easy. Just pause the video until you have what you need. All right, that's about it. Again, as always, if you have any questions, you can email me or ask in class. But for today, that's where we'll stop. Happy note-taking, folks.